Okay. Boo! Hello, chat. How is everybody? Hello, Ravens. Not much. Holy cannoli, hi. Joe and the dog, hello. Hey, Josh. Holy shit, the thumbnail, yes. Hi. I need to close myself here. Hello, Big Juice. Perfect timing. About to put my girl onto your streams for the first time. Oh no. Does she know? Official podcast trip to Syria when? Maybe not to Syria, but we could go backpacking to Morocco, maybe. I have some news for you on that front. Which is apparently something people do. Thank you, Jake P. Am I the girl dad? Yes, I am. She wants chili. Hello, Freeman Nick, and thank you. Hello, Sportsman. Update on Harden? I have no freaking clue. No idea. He was still going back and forth to Nigeria or Kenya or whatever to meet his girl. Maybe he's totally de-radicalized now. Who knows? Maybe touching a void cured him. Hello, it's just the Joe you know. Hey, Yennefer, hi. Lobbycock says, first Down syndrome person elected into parliament in Spain. Let me look that up. I want to know about this. Hello, Gaby. And Maru, hi. Awawa. We're about to listen to a life breakup. I hope not. Spain Down syndrome? What do I type in? What's his name? It's real. What the fuck? Aw. Regional Parliament Deputy. I mean, you know, in this lady's defense, there's hardly any chance she's any more retarded than your average politician, right? I mean, what difference does it really make? Her, AOC, Bernie. It's all the same thing, really. Can I hear her speak? Hold on. Just realized my browser isn't even on your screen. It's this lady. Spain Down syndrome. Thank you, Dirty Cunty. Plastic surgery with Down syndrome. Okay, hold on. I'm getting sidetracked. Is it her? Okay, I guess they don't actually film her talking. Is there no video of her talking? That's not her. There's just people talking about her. Okay, well, good for her, I suppose. I mean, genuinely, I'm not upset about this at all. I really don't see what the big deal is. It's... Could she be any fucking dumber than the average politician? No.
In a groundbreaking moment for inclusivity and representation, Mar Galceran has etched her name in history as Spain's first parliamentarian with Down syndrome. The announcement of her victory sent ripples of inspiration across the nation and beyond. Mar Galceran...
Hopefully you don't tell Doug about her. It is kind of his thing. He might get a little, feel a little tug in his pants if I tell him about this. Well, good for her. Drewby says, Ethan Ralph update. I saw a post on X saying it's been 2 days since we last heard from Scar fighting Ethan. And there was a theory that he killed her, but do you think Ralph's plot armor could possibly protect if true? No, I doubt it. Then again, he is an angry drunk. I remember the video he had with, that lolicon chick. I forget her name. I want to say Pantsuit Party, but I don't know. It wasn't her. Whatever, his previous girlfriends, the one that dated the pedo tranny. I remember him drunkenly yelling at her, I'll kill you. Just like this drunken slurring. Nasty drunken slurring. Alright, chat, so today, We're gonna have to talk about the Spanish invasion, because this morning I wake up and I look at my phone and I thought people were pasting GIFs from that movie, World War Z again. The one with, was it Brad Pitt? I think it was. Yeah, it was Brad Pitt. Where the zombies are all piling up and shit. And it's apparently from Spain in, I don't know, the border with Morocco. And they're getting literally invaded like a zombie apocalypse. Look at this shit. Oh no. It's thousands of zombies literally rushing over the border into Europe. It was Pantsu? Huh. Look at it. It's literally the fucking GIF. It's literally the World War Z GIF. There's no way someone didn't post it in the comments. Hold on. There you go. Second comment. Immediately. It is so insane. They're genuinely climbing over each other to enter Europe. Rest, my wife bought some sort of a coffee creamer that's like cake batter. And it's vile. That's what I get for trying things. Anyway, so there's that. There's a different angle. Hold on. There's a bunch of videos coming out. Look at them. They're so happy because they know that they are now undeportable. They get to stay in Europe and just chill and have a good time, just rape some children. That guy probably just said, I'm gonna grab me a 6-year-old. They're all just flooding in and no one's doing anything. There's no guards. There's one guard. He's not doing anything. He's just watching. Really earning his paycheck. No one knows why the gates are wide open. There's a police car. Not doing anything. And wouldn't you believe it, by the way, all men. All fighting age men. It's literally all like rape age men. There with the one sole purpose in their lives. And in case you don't know, Europe is part of, Spain is part of Europe, of course, which means they're in the Schengen zone. If you don't know what the Schengen area is, it's basically, if you're a European citizen, which for instance I am, that gives me the freedom to move between any of the European countries. I don't need permission from any specific government. If I want to move to, whatever, Sweden, if I want to move from Germany to Sweden and start living in Sweden, I pretty much can, unobstructed, and vice versa. That's sort of one of the few upsides of being in the European Union still, is that they basically don't have borders between their countries. These people know that, which means because they are now in Spain, they get to freely move between Spain and any other country. So if these guys want to just keep moving until they're in Germany, they get to. And nobody at any border can say anything about it. Rape age men, new lexicon. They are. Let's see. Let's read about this. Oh, on the Schengen topic, actually, Georgia Maloney, what's her face? The alleged coke fiend, because she always has eyes that are like wide open, darting around suspiciously and neurotically. She said, the images coming from Ceuta are striking and demonstrate once again that uncontrolled illegal immigration poses a concrete threat to the security of Europe's borders. I've spoken with Interior Minister Matteo Piantedosi. Italy will not stand by and watch. We are convening the relevant bodies, and following these meetings, we are prepared to intervene with extraordinary measures to defend the border and the safety of citizens, including the suspension of the Schengen area with Spain. So Spain is getting kicked out, kind of, sort of, out of Europe. They're getting, like, kind of, sort of, you know, not you, Spain. Sorry, we're gonna have to close our borders. It is wild to me. I know we're all so jaded and black pill, but it is still so insane to me that the mere idea of, like, not letting a horde of rapists cross your border is, like, quote-unquote an extraordinary measure. That's, like, extraordinary. Never before done. Can't have that. On illegal immigration, we will not yield an inch, defending the border, stopping human traffickers, and ensuring effective repatriations. Where? What border, bro? What border? What a joke. The Spanish, predictably, are not very happy about this. Let's see what the news say. Spain deploys military to Morocco border after thousands of migrant crossings, at least 9 deaths, which is predicted. Nobody did anything, by the way. These aren't like good deaths. They literally just stampeded each other. These aren't like any pushback. This wasn't a guard shooting 9 of them or anything sane like that. It's literally just them stampeding each other, crushing each other, and like drowning each other, trying to get into the country to get their hands on women and children. Spain will deploy its military to restore order at its border with Morocco and Ceuta after thousands of migrants streamed into the tiny Spanish territory, with at least 9 dying in the attempt. Ceuta had asked the central government in Madrid for reinforcements to manage a border crisis that had been building up before boiling over Thursday. So apparently what had happened was that the Spanish Supreme Court ruled that once one of these rape migrants crosses the border, you cannot just simply deport them immediately. You have to give them a year-long process. So it doesn't really matter. The law doesn't really apply to them. It's like one of those things where in California, shoplifting is just straight up legal now. And then someone will jump in and say, well, actually, technically, it's not legal. It's just the case that below a certain amount of shoplifting, it's no longer prosecuted. It's like, okay, whatever. It's de facto legal. It's decriminalized. Like, you're allowed to do it. You're allowed to walk out with a TV that costs $899. It's just fine now. This is one of those cases. Technically, their border isn't open. Technically, they can deport people. But their Supreme Court just said, yeah, it has to take a couple of years and be super duper giga expensive to do it. And in the meantime, you have to give him housing and blowjobs and women and children. So that's where we're at with Spain. Some activists in Morocco expressed doubts that the ruling was behind the surge, arguing most migrants would have been unaware of such legal decisions. Well, I guess that's true too, but you know, word spreads. They talk to each other. Specifically if they cross via the ocean, yeah. Oh, the court ruling was specifically if they... Oh, yeah. Look at this. Earlier this month, a court decision that migrants who arrive by sea cannot be immediately pushed back across the border without due process, unlike those who cross into Spain by land, by climbing over the border fence, for example. Why? What difference does it make? No, sir, we can't deport them. They're wet. What? Yeah, you need to first give them a hairdryer. For that, they need to be near a hairdryer, which, you know, I guess we'll have to put them up in a hotel with a nice bathroom. And, you know, since they're already there, it's Spain, it's a coastal place, right? So it's beautiful. They already have a hotel. Why not just let them stay a little bit, enjoy the beach, you know, have some fun, meet the local women and underage girls. And while we're at it, you know what? They've been staying here and vacationing so long in their 5-star hotel. Why don't we just let them stay forever? Our birth rate is so low anyway. It's genuinely crazy how inorganic this is. And it is the same everywhere. And everybody's just fine with this. In case you're wondering, what kind of people are the Moroccans? So, Morocco seeks the death penalty for jihadists who murdered backpackers. And I have to say something. Spoiler alert, Morocco's a shithole. As a girl dad now, it is my hope that I never drop the ball so hard that my daughter would ever think it is a good idea to go backpacking in fucking Morocco. It is genuinely one of the dumbest ideas I could ever... It is always just these, like, 2 cute little blondies, too. Like, what are you doing with your life? Why aren't you just backpacking through a safe, nice country? They still do exist. You can probably, presumably, safely backpack through Japan, meet some deer, you know, go pet the turtles at their zoo or something. What is it about Morocco that they want to see so badly? So these 2 girls went to Mount Topkal, a mountain, I guess, in Morocco that they really badly wanted to see, which admittedly it looks pretty, but also what's the fucking point? Do nice and clean places not have mountains? Safe places where women have human rights? Anyway, they were apprehended by 2 jihadis who raped them and then told them to join ISIS as rape slaves. And the girls said no, so they were decapitated. And they filmed this. And they put it online for other jihadis to jerk off to. So wonderful people. I'm very glad that Spain has now been enriched by thousands and thousands of these guys. Where the fuck is my video? Here we go. Beautiful. As a 5'3" woman, I'm immediately booking a holiday to Mumbai, says Yennefer. Yeah, perfect, perfect. One time, just genuinely, like, this is one of those things why women need men in their family. Because on their little lonesome, sometimes they just cannot come up with the bare level, like, saneness. Because women, by their nature, they're just nice people. Most women, by their nature, they're just nice people. They're not aware of the, like, evil that is out there. Us, as men, we're like, no, don't do that. Trust me. Not everyone is this nice. Not everyone is as nice as, like, civilized men, okay? You do that, they will, like, cook you. Okay? They will cook you on top of a bonfire while they sexually rape you. Like, you do not... No. No. I'm canceling your credit card. You're not going to the fucking airport. Put your backpack down. This is not happening. Alright, Melissa? Not happening. They need to be told. It is comically silly. But then even the men are fucking stupid. I remember seeing this video of a man... I wonder if I could find it. Man, India. Wife harassed. Hold on, I need to put my phone on silent. There's no way I can find it. But it was this video of a guy and his wife, or fiance or something, just this like Australian couple, walking through the streets in India during one of their like poop festivals, and they're just like all covered in grime and goop and all sorts of like curry and poop or whatever the hell it is. And he was trying to get his wife out of there while he's filming himself and her, as like presumably because he was already streaming himself or recording himself for vacation memories. And all the men surrounding them are like groping her. They're just groping her tit, her ass. They're like grabbing her by the neck, trying to kiss her. And she's like trying to get out of there. And he's trying to shuffle her out of there, you know, and he can't do anything against it, because what he's gonna do? Like, start a fist fight with literally hundreds of people? You can't. They would immediately murder her and him. That would be just a horrific end. So he had no choice but to suffer the soul-crushing humiliation of basically seeing his wife get raped in front of his eyes. Molested at the very least, like terminally molested, as just hundreds of men just grope her and just like tear at her clothes and just grab her by the tits. And I remember in the comments, it was like, what kind of a man just like lets it happen? I don't care if they would have killed us. I would have fought them. I would have like blah, blah, blah. And it's like easy to say that sort of shit from the comfort of behind a keyboard and say you would just whoop ass and, you know, kill hundreds of men with your like John Wick Krav Maga tricks. But like, here's the thing. A real man would never have taken his wife to a third world rape festival in the first place. A real man would be racist enough to say, no, we're not doing that. Are you stupid? No, let's go someplace safe, okay? Same thing here. Like, a real man would never allow his sister, his daughter, his whatever, to backpack to Morocco. Are you nuts? The two of you alone? No. I would say no, even if there was like 6 men with you, guarding you. If I'm rich and I can hire like a platoon of 24 like Blackwater operatives, then maybe. But no. You're not going. I'm putting my foot down as the patriarch. Like, are you insane? No. We're not doing this. Go vacation someplace nice. What is wrong with you? Always bizarre. And you always feel bad for them. Again, it's just, okay. Like, these ladies died because they were just too nice in their hearts and they thought the world is just all okay. It's just all like, every man on the planet is like the fucking Scandinavian men they know. This is not something they would ever do, which is true, but yeah, evil is out there. It also reminds me of you guys remember the Bride of Peace or whatever she was calling herself? Bride of Peace, artist, death, Turkey. Was it Turkey or Iraq? Someplace. Pippa Baka? Was that her? Yeah. This lady was backpacking. She was hitchhiking. As part of a... Like, she was hitchhiking in a bridal gown, and that was her gimmick. She was like a feminist activist artist sort of person who was like, this was her bit. She was like, I'm going to spread the love. Oh, here. an international hitchhiking trip to promote world peace under the motto marriage between different peoples and nations, which is like, that's very cute. That is very, very female. That is very, very adorably foid coded. That's cute. You know what happened? A Turkish trucker pulled her aside, raped her to death, and then stole her cell phone and threw her dead body in a ditch. That's what she got for wanting to spread marriage between different peoples and nations to the planet, on the planet, which is like, okay, that's cute, sweetie. Do that at home. Died at 33, yeah. Strangulation and gang rape, actually. Okay, I was wrong. Wasn't even the only guy that did it to her. It's just always bizarre. Always bizarre. And then you tell women this sort of stuff, and it's just the likelihood that these two girlies would have called you a racist and yelled at you if you warned them not to go to Morocco, or if they witnessed this, like, avalanche of zombies pouring into a country and you said you have a problem with it, actually. I keep losing my videos. I'm so bad at tab management. Like, the exact same demographic would call you a racist and this phobe and that phobe and xenophobe and jingoist and nationalist and supremacist and this and that, and it wouldn't matter to them. No matter how much you say, like, I'm not a white supremacist, I'm not white. That doesn't make sense. But I am a Europe supremacist and an America supremacist, and I don't want these fucking people in our countries. They don't belong here. Sorry, they're not assimilated enough. I say that as somebody who doesn't originally, like, my family also didn't come from Europe, but we assimilated extremely well. Assimilated to the laws, the culture, the language, everything. Pay my taxes, do everything. Just speak the language fluently, and I love every single country. Every single one of those countries. I don't like the governments, necessarily. I fucking hate the German government and its, like, submissive culture of peoples, but generally... yeah, I get to talk this shit, so fuck you if you're clipping this for Reddit or whatever. Eat a dick. These people don't belong here. Raus. Ausländer raus. Europe is facing divine karma. What Europe is facing is unprecedented. It is genuinely, like, people in America don't understand it. People in America think you guys are multicultural, which is true, but your people, like, your minorities, quote unquote, which, like, white people are becoming the minority here too, but at the very least, your minorities are not this hateful. There's some contingency of, like, bitter black people who are still, like, yapping about slavery or whatever, but for the most part, like, some of the most patriotic and loving people that I've met so far in my few years that I got to stay in America have been black people. Just the coolest, like, pro-America, fuck yeah, America people. In Europe, it is a complete inversion. These people don't come in and then grow to love Germany. Like, none of these people are gonna come in and be, in 2-3 years from now, gonna be like, fuck yeah, Spain. They're all going to be just hateful, seething, bitter, murderous... just like demonically sadistic, and they're going to specifically go after women and children just to hurt women and children. Because they're just bitter about the fact that you have to also understand, okay, from my perspective as, like, somebody who's, like, had his foot halfway in different continents, and I've seen, like, low trust societies, you have to understand from the perspective of a poor person like this, seeing the wealth that Europeans have, it doesn't, like, in them, it doesn't invoke motivation like, oh, I get to have this now and I get to work hard just like they do and I have the same opportunity now for my families. No, it just evokes seething rage. Seething rage, like those poor hobos breaking into people's homes in the Purge movies, where they just get so fucking bitter at seeing how rich people live. And they hold on to that contempt. Which is why they're completely incompatible. And frankly, I'm sorry, but I do not see how it is a sane solution to be doing here anything other than using lethal force to stop these men. I mean, every single one of these dudes is a potential dead daughter. Like, why? Why are you letting these people free? Why are you letting them roam like wolves? If somebody unleashed... If I was like... Okay, actually, I forgot. There's another video I want to show you guys. Kind of related. I saw this and I rolled my eyes again. Who was it in the chat that said your girlfriend is tuning in for the first time? I hope you're enjoying it. You're gonna have a lot of explaining to do. Right now the bro is like, no, I promise he's not, like, he does it because he loves women. He has a daughter and a wife. And that is true. I do this because I am this angry because I love women. Which is why sometimes women need to be told that they cannot be listened to in these matters. So here's a girlie who says that she would not want to put rapists in prison because that's mean.
Let's just say somebody who has raped a woman.
Totally.
Would you like them to be out in the street?
I think my answer is yes, even though that's a challenging answer to say.
So
They
if
would
you
do
got
this
raped,
to
would
me.
you like your rapist to be out in the street?
Well, like, let me finish, because I have been raped, and they are out in the street, and I'm not sure like them going to jail is a solution to like whatever's going on inside their heart, or even my own heart that like contributed to that experience that I'm having. And I don't want more people to get raped, but I don't know for certain that going into a jail in the United States is going to shift anything inside of their like operating system so that they'll make a different choice again.
Wow, well, thank you guys so much for your time. And is there
Thank you, Joshua, for $10. He says, my respect for any culture ends where my morality begins. Lots of dumbasses look at Western culture and gag and call these rape-filled cultures beautiful. Exactly. And then they backpack there because they gas themselves up like, they're so much more enlightened, these like people who aren't white. And then they get raped. Okay. Let me ground myself because I actually want to talk about this in a way without like starting to scream about how this woman needs to have her rights taken away. I'm trying to be reasonable for the bro in the chat who has his girlfriend watching. The issue here is that this girlie is misunderstanding the purpose of the prison system in the first place, okay? She thinks, oh, we need to rehabilitate. Like, I don't know if that would change anything.
But I don't know for certain that going into a jail in the United States is going to shift anything inside of their like operating systems so that they'll...
Okay, several misunderstandings. First of all, the main purpose of prison is not to change people. I hate this misunderstanding that everybody grows up with ever since like the moment all of us turn 14 and you start developing this like sense of justice and you start getting mildly interested in politics and this and that. It's like you always hear about rehabilitation, and it's not until you're much older that you realize that is not the point of prison at all. It's not rehabilitating. Some people cannot be rehabilitated. And again, I'm afraid, in my experience at least, women struggle with this concept generally. They struggle with the idea because, again, they have fairer souls. There's generally nicer people. So they want to think that at the end of the day, everybody has like a kernel of love inside them. And if you give them enough hugs and attention and love, then you can change them and you can bring out the good in them. They don't realize that, no. Some people are genuinely just born broken. They're born with crime brain. They're born just fucked up. And the thing is, again, we just have to put those people away. I'm not interested in rehabilitating them. I'm sorry you got raped, but also I don't care if anything inside your rapist can be changed. What I care about is that your rapist never touches anybody else ever again. And that's what prison does, okay? We put him away and we forget about him. Whatever the fuck he wants to do in there, that's on him. You just give him they can have a library in the gym or whatever, but in there. Never again outside, okay? And this is going to sound maybe a little edgy and shitty, but once again, I'm sorry that happened to you, but you're on their team now. Like, welcome to to Team Pro Rape. If you're in the opinion that... She literally says, I don't know if they will ever rape again.
Because I have been raped, and they are out in the street. And I'm not sure like them going to jail is...
And they are out in the street. Okay, well, don't you see how you have blood on your hands? Okay, they're going to rape again. Okay, none of this, like, no man has ever raped and then thought, oh, jeez. You know what? I'm never gonna do that again. No man has ever murdered someone thought... Like, that is just outside of, like, crimes of passion and in the moment snapping. That is not a thing that happens. None of these people are rational, okay? Criminals, generally, they're fucking low IQ idiots. And it is just so frustrating to see this woman sit there. And the problem is that she probably thinks she's the empathetic one. I'm a hecking good girl. I'm a hecking good human being. Why don't you try being a hecking good human personino? And it's like, I'm sorry, but you are the one that lacks compassion because you're not thinking about second order effects. You have compassion for the wrong person. It is misplaced. You should take that compassion and apply it to some other girl, probably around your own age, who's going to be that dude's next victim. And I don't know why she's like they-theming here. Is there more than one guy she let off?
And they are out in the street. And I'm not sure like them going to jail is a solution to like whatever's going on inside their heart, or even my own heart that like contributed to that experience that I'm having. And I don't want more people to get raped, but I don't know for certain that going into a jail and then
And the fucked up thing, like, again, I'm trying not to get mad at this girl because she sounds genuinely sad about it, but it's just so misplaced. I think what you see here is the issue is that a lot of, like, college-age girls like this, they're midwits, right? And they overthink things. They're midwits, they go to college, and college gives midwits the idea that they're actually smarter than they are. It kind of gives them the impression that they're at least, like, 20 IQ points smarter than they are, so they tend to ruminate on things too much, and they tend to give themselves the belief, they trick themselves into thinking that when they overthink some super simple thing, it's actually good to overthink super simple things and deny the super simple solution. Hey, rapists are gross and we should put them in prison for the good of women and children. That's simple, right? It's like the bell curve. You guys know that bell curve meme with on the one end is the troglodytes, and on the far end is the 200 IQ guy, and the troglodyte and the genius pretty much agree on things, and they both say, dude, it's actually really simple. And then in the middle is the midwits, looking down from the midwit peak, just overthinking, just like word selling, spewing a bunch of like gibberish and words about how actually it's not that simple because no, it is actually simple. You don't need to overthink your own rape. You don't need to be thinking about their internal operating systems and the American jail system and this and that. Put them away. I mean, just think about it. It's just how evil it is. For this girl to sit here and say that she, they are out there and I don't know if they will rape. If I was a billionaire, here's a thought experiment. Okay? If I was a billionaire and I told you, yeah, see, my fun hobby is I have a SEAL teams, I have a private Blackwater team of operatives, and sometime from time to time I have them break people out of jail. I tell them specifically to pick the dirtiest and grimiest rapists, and then I take that rapist and I unleash him. I unleash him on a bus with vulnerable women. Everybody would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, you Bond villain? That is so evil. That's not even cartoonish, you're demonic. And yet, if you give it a cutesy little face and a cutesy little voice and cutesy little like college therapy speak, and you put it in terms of like, I don't know if I like support the incarceral system that's like so guilty of systemic racism and injustices, so pervasive in our socioeconomic capitalist landscape. It's like, as long as you dress it up with a bunch of pretentious words, and all of a sudden it's fine. The same thing is all of a sudden fine. You setting free rapists is fine. And this is exactly the kind of woman who would look at this and say, yeah, I mean, no, do I want them all in prison or gunned down? No, that's not fair. And that's how you get this. And these are the two girls that she has no empathy for, unfortunately. And she doesn't realize that mercy to the cruel is cruelty to the innocent. Like, you can't go easy on criminals. What is this? Big Milk has posted. Copy link. Why can I not copy links in the fucking OBS browser? Oh, right, the fucking TED Talk. Hold on. I keep doing this. I need to stop closing my tabs. You're just playing devil's advocate, but you take the most immediate, vapid, and pathetic stance to claim the moral high ground. Yeah. Minutes. What a rape victim her attacker wants her to know.
Till now.
Bad.
I think part of the problem is that perpetrators up until now have been largely invisible and unaccountable. So I do think that we need more narratives that include, I guess, perpetrators and their notions, the toxic ideas that drive their actions, because if we can start to identify those, that's the first step towards uprooting them.
For those who don't know, this lady and her rapist, yes, her rapist, I forgot what their story is. I assume he forced himself on her, and of course they made up, and now they give TED Talks, which this was like 10 years ago. Our story of rape and reconciliation. Is this actually TED? Not even TEDx.
The goal 26.
In case you don't know, TED Talks you have to be invited to, I'm pretty sure. You have to be kind of like, they want you there. Whereas TEDx, anybody can pay to give a TEDx speech.
Ironically, I'm an Australian who prefers proper icy cold weather. So I was both excited and tearful when I got on a plane to Iceland after just having told my parents and brothers goodbye. I was walking into the home of a beautiful Icelandic
I do not want to play Ark
who took
Survival.
me hiking and helped me get a grasp of the melodic Icelandic language. I struggled a bit with the initial period.
Which is an audience full of women too. This is so sad. Look, it is literally all women. I'm not insane. Look. It's a bunch of boomer women and older women and one hijabi. And all of these women, by the end of it, I bet they're like, yes, you know, he's not a bad person just because he raped once when he was drunk. Which is like, I don't know what the fuck happens. Maybe they're just like embellishing. Maybe it's true. Maybe he's not a bad person. Especially if they were both drunk. I'm going off by what you guys in chat just said, Joe and the dog. I don't know their story. I don't care to listen to this for 20 fucking minutes, but, you know, it's just so bizarre to even take this stance. Like, okay, even if you did forgive him, get the fuck away from me. Off topic, but did you see Chris Hansen recently caught Netanyahu's chief of security? I feel like I heard about that. No, wait, what am I thinking of? Wait, didn't he have immunity and he just fled back to Israel or something? I vaguely have heard of this. I might have to look into that as a topic for next time.
To people from both ends of the perpetrator-survivor scale. If nothing else, it's a story
You can tell she's really enjoying this.
when we were younger.
This is like the best thing that has ever happened to her when she was
Given
drunk.
the nature of our story, I know the words that inevitably accompany it. Victim, rapist.
Idiot.
Labels are a way to organize concepts, but they can also be dehumanizing in their connotations.
Oh my god.
Deemed a victim, it's that much easier to file them away as someone damaged, dishonored, less than. And likewise, when someone...
And that's not me. Stop. I'm not a victim. Stop holding my wrists, rich billionaire. Stop. I'm not less than you. Yeah, fine, I will get on my knees, but just because I want to.
Someone's been branded a rapist, it's that much easier to call him a monster.
Oh, God. I'm founding a new security company. It's going to be like a child lock, but it's something that you as a husband or a man, you get to put it on your girlfriend's phone. And before she's allowed to browse TikTok, or as she's browsing TikTok, we're going to subcontract other men, young men, like 19, 20-year-old men. They're going to work remotely and they're going to keep an eye on her feed. They're going to live watch her phone with her. And whenever she turns on something dog shit like this, they're going to hit the red button that says abort and it's going to just shut their phone off. We need like remote driving for women's phones because they will genuinely sit down in this audience like this and nod along as she's like, when you call someone a rapist, it's like you're calling them a monster. And that's like dehumanizing. Yeah. And you should not dehumanize.
Inhuman. But how will we understand what it is in human societies that produces violence if we refuse to recognize the humanity of those who commit it? And how can we empower survivors if we're making them feel less than? How can we discuss solutions to one of the biggest threats to the lives of women and children around the world if the very words we use are part of the problem?
God damn it, they are less than. They are. I'm better than you. You are less than me. You are. They are. They are less than me. How else can I put this? I want to put them in prison and I don't particularly feel bad about it too. The fucking prison system, especially the American carceral system, it's one of those things where as a European you always hear about it and you grow up hearing about it, right? And again, when you're like 12, 13, 14 years old or whatever, you start hearing about that sort of stuff and you're like, oh my god, it's for profit? What? Capitalism has gone wrong. Did you know that America per capita has more prisoners than every other country? Oh my god, blah, 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 blah. And growing up is realizing that, you know what, not only is the prison population like good, it's actually too low. It should be 10x. And you know what? I'm okay with those companies making profit off of it too. Oh, you're telling me this company makes all of its money doing what? What is the service they offer? Oh, they keep psychopaths behind bars? Okay. Actually, that seems like sort of a noble thing to do. That seems like a good thing. That seems like a good cause. That I'm okay with my taxpayer money going to that, actually. I'm fine with that. And then growing up for my generation, anybody near my age or older, you guys will know. My generation, we grew up with that Myth article, the non-stop series of news and articles and just like stories of, yeah, this cop pulled over this kid and like for under an ounce of weed, he got life in prison. They put him away for life in prison for an ounce of weed. And then you would always, that's a myth because nobody would ever tell you that if you just click on the, it says, man gets life in prison for ounce of marijuana. And then you click into the article and somewhere along like paragraph 8, they hide it. They bury the lead that, oh, also he was wanted for homicide of his girlfriend and baby. He did too many opioids and freaked the fuck out on them and strangled her to death. And he was on the run and he got pulled over for a broken light. And then the officer noticed the weed in his car and then he ran his name and turns out he was wanted for murder. That's why he got life in prison. It is insane. This nonsense. It doesn't work. And it's just, again, I'm so sorry to womankind, but you need a man behind the steering wheel, bro. This can't be done. There's something, so I have a daughter now. There's going to be, and I have other, we have children in my family. We have, like, I have a nephew who's, I don't know, like 7 or something. There are moments as an adult when you have to kind of sort of break the news to children that, you know, the world isn't all sunshine and rainbows. You have to kind, you know, because a kid will come up to you and be like, Uncle Kaya, what is war? And then you have to explain like, okay, war is when different groups of people fight for resources, like gold and stuff, or land, like territory and stuff, and just they fight over stuff, sometimes over like their religion, what they believe in, what God they believe in. And sometimes, unfortunately, they kill each other. And then the kid goes, but why? Can't everyone just hold hands and hug and be friends? And no one has to ever die again and we just share? And then you have to kind of break them the news that, you know, you have to rob them of a little bit of that childlike innocence, unfortunately, and say, sweetie, that's just not how it works. I know that would be nice, but that's not how it works. And you have to, as the adult, as the responsible person, you have to explain that to them and teach them that in a reasonable age, reasonable way. And that sort of childlike naivete about the world is genuinely endearing in a child, because they're children. In a grown-ass woman, it is revolting. In a grown-ass person, when you hear this sort of like childlike thought process, it is gut-churning. Like, it's like looking at maggots to me. It's like smelling vomit. It's so gross. Like, what do you mean you're 22 and you're still saying, what if we all just hug it out? That's not how it fucking works. Like, you should have known that. Like, children know this. 10-year-olds know that. No, you can't rehabilitate everyone. Nor should you even try. What a waste of time and effort. Put them away. Uncle Kaya, what does going ER on fake cells mean? I'm gonna have fun introducing her to just schizo lingo. Just frustrating. Asking Americans about the rise of communism inside the US. There should not be an apostrophe here,
What do you
Nick.
think about the rise of communism?
But that's okay. Funny video, I'm sure. Uncle Kaya, what is 9/11? For a balanced life, you need the insight of both a man and a woman, correct? Listen, the only reason, like, The biggest sexists on the planet are those who love women the most. I'm this harsh on them because I want them protected the most and taken care of and just not hurt like these women. That's why I strongly believe in benevolent sexism. It's not like mankind have their own issues. Totally. Just as many fucking problems where they need women's help. Where a man sometimes needs a woman's like insight and her take and her perspective. But the reverse is also true, and if you have women like this in your family, it is your duty as a man to tell them not to fucking backpack in shitholes that would have them raped and murdered. Ladies, you'll be the end of me, but get this, chat. If you do land yourself a cute little foidling, and you ask her to be your girlfriend, you don't have to do it alone anymore. Okay, now we're getting to my tech schizo segment of the stream. Mandatory once per stream AI talk. Hold on. I have... Okay, sorry, just making out of time to record with the boys. So here's an Orchid, the first assistant that actually gets you, and it's on your phone. Check this out. Check out this fucking dystopia.
Big day.
Huge. Keep going. I got you. Send it.
You don't even know what it is.
Big though.
Foidling sounds like an underage girl. Listen, nobody said that, okay? It's just a term of endearment. Foidling. I kind of use those interchangeable. Anyway, so he's gaming. She says, big day, am I right? And then he doesn't realize it's their anniversary, so she goes online on her phone to talk to her AI assistant, Orchid. Sorry, forgot. Yes, that's actually insane. Can you fix it? Way ahead of you.
So what does he have planned?
Nothing. You forgot.
And you're just calm about it?
I've got it covered.
This is Sam we're talking about.
Don't worry. I got it.
This is terrible acting, by the way, on everyone's part. And have to bitch about your partner behind their back, yes. But see, the thing is, you're in a group chat with, well, you're not in a group chat altogether, but you talk to Orchid, and then Orchid creepily orchestrates the boyfriend to remember. Sam, how's the cereal? Because it's your anniversary, and you're eating cereal. Wait, what? Yeah, it's the same date every year, by the way. Orchid, this is bad. I need your help. Fix everything, please. And then she books a table at the local restaurant for him. Flowers, question mark. Not roses. She says roses are not what guilty meant by. He's not wrong. I hate how it's like fucking snooty, too. Like, why am I getting attitude from my AI assistant? Fuck you. You told me in March. You weren't listening. Flowers. And now she's talking to her Orchid, and she's like, ran long, push my 6, move to Thursday. How's he doing? He thinks he planned it himself. He's very proud. I thought this one was the most sinister message. Flowers are at the table, and he's dressed like he's dressed like Jeffrey Dahmer in that Netflix show. Like he's prowling for black men to grind into pepperoni in his basement. Just walk in like you planned it. Thank you, Orchid. You're carrying this relationship right now. I've noticed. And then he nods. Yeah, good shit, Orchid.
Lilies.
Yeah, your favorite.
You remembered.
Of course I did. I pay attention to that stuff.
You mean we pay attention to that stuff, says Orchid from the corner there. This is so fucking crazy to me because, like, obviously none of the technology featured here is there yet. Like, you couldn't do this explicitly. Like, even ordering flour. If you wanted to go online and ask Claude, if you hooked it all up to your credit card and to your Amazon and to your eBay or whatever, you told it to order flowers to a certain address, there's still, like, a decent chance it's gonna flub. Just like make a mistake on the order or something, or order you a fucking pizza instead. But this is so insane to me that like, even as a proof of concept, this exists and it's presumably something that people would want. And here I'm thinking, like, if I checked my wife's phone and I saw that she was like shit-talking me to an AI and she was basically having this AI gaslight me and manipulate me behind the scenes, I would blow my brains out. If I realized I was basically in a relationship not with a woman, but with like basically a woman being puppeteered by an AI, like Pinocchio. People are so afraid of even the minorest of conflicts, my lord. Just tell him he's a douchebag and forgot. Correct. I mean, he shouldn't forget. Just put it on your calendar, guys. Pro tip. But yeah, I mean, with my wife and I, it's like, we remember, but it's also one of those things where we've been together so long, kind of, sort of. We're both like, what do you want to do for our anniversary? We'll just talk about it openly. But we do give each other gifts and stuff, and not, you know. Orchid is a personal assistant that helps you stay organized and find information and get things done, all through messages. Orchid surprised me. And it's always listening, and people think this is a feature. I was in my... This creeps me out so much. I'm genuinely thinking about, like, at the end of the stream, I might order myself a Google Pixel again. Because I'm genuinely, like, kind of... I'm getting there again, where I've been consuming so much privacy stuff, privacy slop, on my feed that I'm getting paranoid again about our phones all listening to us nonstop. Because sometimes I'm genuinely thinking, like, I have to have a conversation with my wife about something, and I tell her, can you leave your phone in the other room? I just want to talk real quick, because both of us switched to iPhones because of the convenience, and just, it's so normie friendly for her and people, like, you know, that she just converses with every single day. But I'm getting paranoid about it again. And one of those things is, a couple of weeks ago, I was in my friend's Tesla. They came over from Florida to visit us. That was the guys I went floating with, where some schizo was trying to get into a brawl with everyone. And we're sitting in their Tesla, and it is genuinely future technology. Like, it doesn't have to be explained to you. Just watch the fucking thing, like, turn its own wheels and its own steering wheel, and you go, oh. Like, literally, you don't have to sell me on this at all. Like, I get it. This will be the future. No one's gonna be on a train or bus ever again. This is obviously the future. I get it. This is, like, futuristic. And it's the sort of technology that could only have come from America. Incredible. And yet, even though there is literally, I was so tempted to just order one on the spot on my fucking phone. Like, let's get rid of the Toyota. Let's just get it. Fuck it. But at the same time, I cannot get over the fact that periodically, while I was having conversations with my friends about, like, hey, where should we grab lunch? Like, you guys want to grab some lunch? Yeah, there's some cute place downtown. The thing would chime in. Thinking we were talking to it, the AI assistant would chime in going, oh, that's a great idea, by the way. Yeah, you should go downtown. There's a nice place called the Ba-Ba-Ba. And in the Honey Pub, blah, 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 blah. If you would like, I can steer you there. And I was like, what? This thing was listening the whole time? And the thing is, it's always listening. And there's a camera within the cabin always taking high definition 4K video of you to make sure you're paying attention, but it's obviously not directed at just the driver or anything. So it's always filming the entire cabin. It is always listening to every single word spoken, and that freaks me out. So all of the upside, like, this is such insane technology, and it is crazy to me that you can own it for the same price as a new car. It's not even a crazy price. Like the whatever the fuck, the truck, the polygon looking ass thing. That is super expensive, but they're ordinary Tesla cars. They're really not. They're the regular price that most other new cars are. It's crazy to me that this is the age we live in now. Like, no LiDAR, just straight up cameras on my outside. Pure AI drives itself. Nuts. It can navigate a parking lot. That is nuts to me. Crazy. And yet I cannot shake the feeling that, well, at the other end, at some point, my wife and I are going to let our guard down, and we're going to start discussing super intimate things, whether it's our sex life or finances or family matters or anything, right? We're going to be discussing super private, like, financial information. Like, can you log into our bank and see what did we pay this one hospital bill yet? And on the other hand, and in Mumbai, there's going to be some Indian who gets to listen in on all of it. because that's hidden in the terms of service that you have to sign when you buy the thing is, oh yeah, by the way, we retain the right to always listen to you and record you and upload it to our servers. And oops, it got data breached. And now 2 terabytes of your conversations are on the internet for anybody to watch. Ha ha. Like, that's gonna be a thing. Just like with the chat logs. You guys remember when ChatGPT chat logs were getting leaked onto search engines and everybody was able to look up people's medical information and shit? Like, what is this boil on my balls? Why do I have that? It's so embarrassing. And it's like just openly readable in plain text to everybody at the company, first of all, but also everybody on Google. And that's the part that bothers me. I just cannot get over it. They flood you with this technology so you start thinking it's a normal way of life and don't question it. It's that, Karina, and it's also normal. It is so convenient. Like, I get it now. I used to be genuinely, I could, like, kind of sort of look down on normies. Like, pff, you're a cuck to Netflix every single fucking day. You, like, pay whatever they increase the price to, like a little bitch, because you don't want to figure out how to copy a movie onto a USB drive. You don't want to figure out how to torrent something in like 30 seconds. So you pay whatever they say. Hey, we jacked the price up another $5. Fuck you. And you're like, good, Claire. Yeah. But I get it now. Like, it is so convenient. This thing is a life changer if you're like on a long drive. That's crazy. That it is even possible. Totally fucking nuts to me that it exists at all. It is mind-blowing. To me, like, as somebody who grew up in my era, it is mind-changing. Like, my brain got reshuffled. I was like, what the fuck? It actually works. Like, it's not just a marketing gimmick. But yeah, you're gonna be having a conversation with your wife about intimate things and the fucking AI assistant is gonna chime in. Like, I think that's a good idea for a sex position too. Thanks. Thanks, Grok. What if they plan something and you hate it? That too, of course. I mean, there's the other downside that all of this is going to be remote controllable, which is why I think low-key, like the government... One of the reasons my conspiracy theory is that the government is pushing, like the Trump administration especially, has basically destroyed any guardrails in front of AI and basically backed them up no matter what, even against the publishing industry in the copyright disputes. Totally like on the side of OpenAI and Anthropic and just said, let them cook, leave them alone, no more copyright. That's a thing of yesterday. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it all. Do whatever you want, Mr. AI companies. And I think part of the reason is because the government knows, okay, well, these guys are going to make shit so convenient for the average person that the average person is going to be okay with having a camera up their own asshole. And we're going to watch all of it. And guess what? If we want to hijack some perpetrator's car and literally have his car itself drive him to the police station, then we can. And the thing is, because it's all digital, there's absolutely nothing tactile in the car, which is also kind of bothersome. Like, if you want to open the glove compartment, there's no button. You have to fuss around with a touch screen, like a glove compartment button. Where's the screen? Swipe, swipe, swipe. That part is annoying. And it also tells you, okay, well, one software update and they can just lock your glove compartment and your doors. And it has this cutesy biohazard mode where it filters out contaminants from outside. And all my schizobrain is thinking, that's cool, I guess. In the event of a I guess, bio attack, it could filter it out for you, you'll be safe in your car. But that also means in the future they can put like a nerve agent, like knockout gas, in the cabin and gas you specifically remotely, right? Like instead of us getting fucking body cam footage of the cops saying, get out the car, get out the car, get out the car now, get out the car now, get out the car. He's just gonna like pull out his remote, go beep, and then it go. The cabin is just gonna flood with knockout gas and tear gas and shit as you're like inside. All this over an online comment. Yeah, it is a massive trap. The convenience is a massive trap. Itale. It really is the most effective way for people to give up their privacy willingly. And that's why I'm trying to pull myself back a little again. I was genuinely thinking like, okay, I think I've gotten too used to how fluid and nice my iPhone feels. How nice the photos are or whatever. Like a Google Pixel will do just as well with some Graphene OS on it. And I can have the peace of mind that pretty much I don't own any devices that can listen to me while turned off. Because right now it's pretty much like we don't own, well, my wife does, but I don't own any smartwatches. My wife loves hers. Unfortunately, she's a runner, so she's terminally addicted to the numbers. She loves her numbers. She wakes up, she checks how many hours she slept and stuff. I'm the polar opposite. I want to stay as far away from those fucking smartwatches as I can. My fiance works for the Department of Defense, and he said what's open to the public with AI is not even the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, I believe you. Of course not. That's why Anthropic is like hoarding its AI like Fable 5. And guarding it so hardcore where if you ask it anything cybersecurity related at all, it cuts it off. You could ask it, hey Claude, the clock on my system is it's wrong. How do I synchronize my time on my Windows machine? It will immediately cut off the conversation and say, I'm sorry, I cannot discuss cybersecurity matters. Whatever happens in private has to be absolutely fucking unhinged. Like, you guys think Anthropic and Claude and OpenAI and Meta, they're throwing billions and billions and billions of dollars at this problem, training their AI. Just wait until you see what the government's probably cooking up with them, right? The government, keep in mind, the world's, like, Elon Musk, I think, currently isn't even a trillionaire anymore. Meanwhile, the government is the world's first and only multi-trillionaire. $7 fucking trillion a year. Last I checked. I don't know what the budget is now. The yearly taxes they fucking fleece from all of us. $7 to $8 trillion a year. Not even a one-time thing, like a year, that they can just sink into this fucking shit. We're donezo. 5 years from now, 5 to 10 years from now, once everybody starts buying Teslas and once everybody starts realizing, oh, why the fuck would I ever bother with like a Honda ever again? Once everybody has a Tesla, normies are, again, it's gonna, god damn it, man. It's gonna start up again. They're all gonna look at you like, yeah, why aren't you okay with the cabin just filming you? Because I'm having like a conversation with my child about puberty. And that's like really private. Oh, why? What do you have to hide? What do you have to hide? What's the matter? Does your child have something to hide? No, she's 11. She has nothing to hide. It's just gross. I don't want somebody like recording her while she's like opening up to me. Why? What's the matter? Who cares? It's normal. Why are you ashamed of it? Like, if we're gonna have to have all of these conversations fucking again, of course. Erg. Alright, let me read chat. My boyfriend will just ask what I want for my birthday or what to do for our anniversary, and I do the same. It just makes sense to come up with something what you actually want to do. Correct. My fiancé... Oh, I read that one. People always talk about AI replacing jobs, but I'm more afraid of AI's potential for psychological influence and propaganda like this. Why does it need to talk like some snarky college student? That's the most frustrating part, because you can tell that AI is going to eventually completely fucking one-shot normgroids. Like, their brains are gonna be giga-fried. They're toast. They're donezo. They're gonna be like, their brains are gonna be basically put through a fucking waffle maker and to be burnt to a fucking crisp with syrup on top. And they're gonna look at you like, what do you mean you don't make love to Orchid? What do you mean you don't let Orchid, like, orchestrate your relationship? And there is a reason that all of these tech oligarchs, all of these tech CEOs, they don't let their own children use any of this shit. Like, Elon's children are not talking to any the goon bot. Okay? Alex Karp. Was it him I'm thinking of? Hold on. Yeah. This guy, the CEO of Palantir. This guy... Oh, hold on. I wasn't showing. The CEO of Palantir. You may have heard of Palantir. The basically surveillance dystopia company. The surveillance dystopia company. This man's office windows have white noise machines attached to the windows to make them vibrate in order to prevent third parties like nation states and corporate spies, to prevent them from reading the vibrations on his windows and when he's talking, basically you can point a laser at a window and you can measure the vibrations on the window as people on the inside are talking. It basically works like a remote microphone. So from across the street, from like the skyscraper across the street, you can just point it at his office ordinarily and just measure the vibrations in the glass as he's on the phone making like business decisions. And you could record his voice using a laser. To prevent that, he has a white noise machine hooked up to every window so they always vibrate and basically just output gibberish so you can't measure his voice vibrations. That's how these guys live. They don't have iPhones in their pockets and they're fucking, you know, as they're making love to their wives or whatever. I don't even know if he's probably gay, but you get the point. Always live as these people live. Never live like they tell you to. I don't even think Elon drives a Tesla. I was telling my friends about this. Elon loves to go around telling everyone, buy a Tesla, buy a Tesla, buy a Tesla. And I always remember this footage of him having to appear in court. And I forget what, I don't remember what he was in court for, but he had to appear in court in person. And he arrives in a fucking like 10-car motorcade because he has he has like paramilitary, an entire platoon of armed men with AR-15s protecting him. And he arrives, and you know what he drives in? A self-driving Tesla, perhaps? No. You know what he drives? He has a human chauffeur. He has a human chauffeur him around in a bullet and bomb-proof Rolls-Royce. They opened the door on that fucking thing, and I swear it was like half a foot thick. You could shoot a rocket at his car and it wouldn't even flinch. Human driver. But you know what he does have? He has a decoy Tesla, which is so fucking funny. Before he arrived with his motorcade, he had a decoy Tesla with decoy guards park in front of the courthouse that all of the journalists swarmed at. They all swarmed at the decoy Tesla, all like taking photos like Mr. Musk, Mr. Musk, Mr. Musk. And it has like blackout windows and shit so you can't tell who's actually inside. And as the decoy Tesla is parked there and the decoy guards are getting out, in the corner of your eye, you can see the actual motorcade arrive full of bulletproof fucking Rolls Royces and shit. It's insane. It is insane. He does not touch his own products. Of course not. Of course not. He's gonna let everybody else be the test dummy, okay? Obviously, the future that these rich fucks want is of course, they want robot butlers. They don't want the fucking Hispanic butler. They don't want fucking brown people cutting their lawns. That's gross. They think the rest of us, we're all gross. Us peasants, we're nasty. Rich people spend their entire lives trying to achieve a life where they never have to look at a poor person again. So once all of this technology is fleshed out and all the bugs have been, ironed out, they're all going to just have robot butlers while they sit in their Jetsons towers laughing at the rest of us down there. I do find the decoy Tesla very funny. It is. No, genuinely. I was reading this article about the mega rich, the billionaires, who all have like bunkers in the Norwegian mountaintops and shit. They all have bunkers that literally cost like $70 million and shit. Mark Zuckerberg just built one that cost him millions and millions of dollars that has its like own, basically like, I don't remember how he plans on powering it. I don't know if he had like a genuine micro reactor in there or what, but the concern that a lot of these rich guys have is that, okay, when society breaks down, if it ever happens, let's say another huge pandemic, like an actual, not just the flu, like COVID, but an actual virus pandemic, okay, what the fuck are we gonna do if our guards turn on us? Like, Elon Musk has literally 50 dudes armed to the teeth surrounding him. Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, they all have these fucking like gorilla goons surrounding them armed. But what happens when that guy decides that, okay, well, the banking system just collapsed, all of the money you're paying me is now worthless. It's worth less than the paper it's printed on, so I think I'm gonna punch you in the mouth and fuck your wife in your bunker. I'm gonna be Morton Joe, sorry, pencil neck. And that is the worry they have, that they openly talk about, like, how do you prevent your head of security just like punching you in the mouth and taking your shit once society breaks down and shit goes down? Well, the only way to prevent that is to get rid of the human factor at all and have literal robot guards at some point. To have literal fucking robots guard you. which is what this thing is, by the way. Apparently some company announced this. I don't know if they announced it as like a joke or a meme or whatever the fuck. They announced this like satyr. Satyr? I don't even know how you say that word. A satyr. A centaur bot. Who they wanted a humanoid form, but they wanted the stability of a quadruped, so they just turned it into a centaur. And they say its mission is gonna be search and rescue and like wildfires and shit. And it's just a fucking demonic horse entity god that, yeah, this is something that a fucking rich fuck would buy. With the horns and everything. I don't know why it has to have horns. Let me see, let's look this up. Satyrus. Raven says, I'm debating the Graphene OS switch. I need to get a phone anyway. It's so tempting. Yeah, try it. It is gonna be more tedious, I'm telling you right now. It's gonna be, like, it's not as pretty and slick as an iPhone feels, obviously. But again, you get the peace of mind that, okay, well, this operating system is not going to be scanning my fucking photos. That's another thing. Like, I've genuinely had to warn the women in my family to... Listen, you can take, like, obviously, you know, women, they love taking photos of the baby, and I appreciate it, because me as a guy, I kind of sometimes drop the ball on that, and then I regret it years down the line. I always think, man, I wish I had more photos of this moment or that moment, just memories. I am so anti-selfie, and it's just so not an instinct I have, because I didn't grow up with smartphones. Really, they weren't really a thing until I was, like, whatever, like 16, 18 or something. It's not an instinct I have to constantly be taking photos of things I'm enjoying at the moment. So I appreciate when the girls are taking photos of the baby and they're just having fun and stuff and being cutesy and, you know, oh, he's so adorable here and we have a ton of photos. But I did have to warn them, look, take all the photos you want, but please turn off whatever, like automatic Google Drive backups and Apple Cloud or whatever the fuck, because they scan those photos and then there will literally be an investigation into you for CSAM. For innocent fucking photos, because some AI on Google's photos cloud servers decided, oh, this baby bath photo, this innocent, wholesome, completely innocuous photo you took while bathing the baby and it was just cooing just right and adorably. Yeah, that's actually CSAM, so we're going to snitch to the police on you and the cops are going to like do a secret investigation on you for months and months. So that's a concern now, which is so fucked up. Again, other people, the bottom 1% ruining it for you. Genuine pedophiles ruining everything for us. So now this is something I have to worry about. It's like, oh. Like the baby photos, are they being scanned by Google? Do I have to worry about this? And I would just rather fight. Like, I would rather just, like, be a little less convenient and have a peace of mind. Damn, I'm like 30 minutes behind, but this has been a great stream so far, Kaya. Thank you. Why centaurs make engineering sense? Okay, that makes sense. Here's some more photos of this demonic thing. I don't know why they're showing it in this chart with, like, air reservoir. And I don't know why there's, like, guns and knives pointed at it. I don't know if they're implying that at some point you might have to fight this thing physically. Fight it off, or is it supposed to be, like, I don't know, fighting the wildfire, and the wildfire is going to be shooting knives at it? I don't know what the implication here is. But, I mean, robot search and rescue makes sense. The design doesn't, and the design makes me think, okay, this is a joke. This is just like a cheap mask they 3D printed and put on the thing just to go viral. And it worked. It's a good gag. It genuinely looks fucking demonic. You would not want this thing saving you. You wouldn't want this walking in on you going, I am here to save you. Do not resist. Savior. Your savior. It's 2 meters tall, which is like... Did they say it's 2 meters tall? Somewhere it said that it cannot fit through the average doorway. Which, in that case, I don't understand the point of it. Is there an actual company link? What is this company? Italian Institute of Technology bent this Siltario robot in 2010. They came right. This looks... I mean, actually, this looks like it would make more sense. It's ugly as fuck, but... I mean, it's supposed to be able to navigate everything, right? So... this weird, like, octopus thing kind of makes sense, actually. But yeah, obviously at some point we're going to have robot search and rescue, which sucks because with humans you have the human elements. With robots, okay, once that thing and its AI onboard AI decide that in between all of the flames and the smoke and the piles of just burning wood and ash and rocks and debris and rubble, once it decides that your arm that is sticking out vaguely doesn't look human enough from that angle, and it's gonna walk past you even as you're screaming like, help, help, I'm here, help. It's gonna be like, I'm sorry, I just cannot assist with that request. If you would like more information, please ask me anything else. Looks like a God of War boss. Safety as a feature. Satyrus has built several field saves into 3 halves. Satyrus the company? What is their actual front page, bro? Is this just a prank article or something? Oh, here we go. Okay, there you go. Christ, that is fucking creepy. It looks like something that gay dudes would fuck in a bathhouse, right? It looks like something they would genuinely just put dildos on its hands and it would like double barrel fist 2 dudes in their assholes, like 2 bears in a bathhouse. While like a third is behind it, sticking it up. It's a robot pipe. Tailpipe. No job is worth your life. That doesn't mean a job isn't worth doing. We spent much of our lives mastering our craft, honing our skills, blah blah blah. We're taking a teleoperation-focused approach. Okay, so it's not going to be AI. Not to replace skilled workers, but give skilled workers superpowers in jobs that are dangerous for humans now, or impossible due to risk of injury or death, extreme heat, bitter cold, pitch darkness, or other inhumane conditions. Makes sense. I've already seen body cam videos of police using drones to literally fly the drone into a perpetrator's house to like check for safety, to check if they can breach it. So we are already kind of sort of in that era. Why does it have to have a fucking demon head, though? I don't get that. No hands. Is that a feature? Just joined. That thing looks like that horror creature from the end of that drug trip movie. Molly, I think? Yeah, I know which one you mean. Which movie? What the fuck are you saying? Do men's bathhouses have depictions of demons covered in dildos? Probably, I don't know. I mean, doesn't it look like a BDSM gimp animal? It absolutely looks like something those BDSM like Pride Parade piss drinkers would fuck and have piss on them. Like, maybe that air reservoir could be a urine reservoir. You don't know. Maybe they'll all just, like, get drunk and circle jerk into the tank and piss into it. And then the 2 hands can act as fire hoses. This retarded brain became a father. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm just imagining, like, 10 bears standing in a circle. Pissing into this like a urinal trough as it's moving around with its pregnant belly sloshing with just like diseased monkeypox piss. Who wants a shower? Please try not to be sprayed. Best My Little Pony ever. Pissbot, come over here. It's kind of, oh my fucking god, dude. What are you doing? This robot is more dangerous than it looks. I mean, it looks pretty fucking dangerous already. Just like, look at it standing there. Like, I don't want to be rescued by you, bro. I think I would rather take my chances and stay in the smoke-filling room. Maybe the horns are for mercy killings, or maybe if you're just writhing on the ground. Can you imagine, like, if you're Canadian and you have a broken ankle or something and this thing just comes in for an impromptu maid, just gores you in the stomach with its horns, does the whole like bullfighter thing where it swings you up in the air and impales your ass on its horn.
You have been saved.
What are these illustrations, bro? Let me check the time. Okay, I'm good on time. 3 halves will be substantially slowed if attempting to navigate a... Oh, goddammit, I just wanted to zoom. Christ, look at those eyes. Will be substantially slowed if attempting to navigate a standard American door and cannot turn in a 42-inch wide halfway or enter a door orthogonal to the hallway. Larger horns can be fit to prevent any passage through pedestrian doors. 2 3/2 robots fit side by side in a crouch position in a pickup bed. What? Why? What? I'm so confused. What is the point of? As is any robot with human-like strength, size, and maneuverability, we are taking physical approach to safety mechanisms with no ambiguity. Fail-on air brakes and pin locks will render the robot immobile if system air pressure is lost. Shared reservoirs in the chest plate and body can be pierced by a projectile or sharp instrument to instantly stop the robot in place. So they're like actually, as part of the promotional, they're literally promoting this thing as, you know, if it does go rogue, you can easily stop it with a bullet. Which I guess is good, but then doesn't that... Then what's the point? Like, if it cannot fit through the... Oh, hold on. I don't know if you guys can see this. This one, this illustration where... Okay, it cannot fit through the average American door, then what's the point? Like, what if you need this thing to save somebody out of a burning building? Right? Also, why would it go rogue? What, like, I thought it was gonna be teleoperated. Like, am I banking on the Indian operator to not snap at me?
Sir, do not redeem. Stop resisting.
In case it tried breaking in, keeps it out. No, I get that, but, I mean, why? This should not be a feature in a, like, rescue bot. Okay, what if you need to rescue someone from inside? Is there any other explanation? This is it. All limbs, torso, and head can be replaced and recalibrated in minutes if damaged, and then share 3 common fasteners. Resilient precision, quick connect interface, no hands. Human-like torso and arm allow for natural operation and interfacing with designed for human tools and environments. Blah, blah, blah. Interesting. So this is actually... I genuinely thought this was like a meme. Or like a joke product that some like San Francisco startup made just to get attention, but I don't know, I guess they're serious about it. Satires. I guess this is all. There's no more info. Auburn, California. The most exciting thing about these robots is thinking all the new death videos it will add to the internet of just trying to force human bodies into positions and places it can't go. That is true. We're gonna get a lot of weird-ass fucking body cam. Does it need ears? Look, we're getting a little zany with it. It does not need ears. Unless those are like little antennas or something, like satellite dishes or some shit. That is not necessary. That's not adding any more safety than the horns already do. Alright, let me check my time again. Alright, well, let me see if I had any other topics here. Well, I guess on the tech front, these 3 dudes have just been caught for cutting down flock cameras, and they look exactly like the kind of person... I get that fast money and I get that fast money and No, I will not play Dead Island Riptide with my child. In fact, I'm banning all zombie slop from her. But thanks for the $2. Dig. Anyway, these 3 dudes definitely look like the kind of guys who would cut down cameras, and I like the fucking smirk on his face, as he genuinely looks like sort of a Unabomber type dude. Flock cameras are interesting. I'm kind of interested where this derangement is going, because flock cameras despite popular normie belief, aren't actually doing anything that we weren't already subjected to under the surveillance dystopia. I think once you brand something, normies get wind of it and they're like, oh, data centers, data centers, data centers. And it's like they've always existed for like decades now, ever since computers existed. Like you are talking to me thanks to a data center right now that has been built years and years ago, not just now. The same thing with like... What about Last of Us? Maybe. I mean, that's one of the more polished and okay zombie slops, I guess. That's not too terrible. As like a daddy-daughter game. But yeah, I mean, traffic cameras have always existed. Cameras are fucking everywhere. Everything is always recorded. Ring cameras, body cameras, traffic cameras. Every single camera in a store. I don't know why all of a sudden Flock is catching all this flack. I don't know. Is Flock owned by like Peter Thiel or something? Is Flock like a sub-business of Elon Musk's? Is this why normies are all now Flock deranged? Since when were you against civil disobedience? I'm not against it. I don't feel strongly about it. I'm not as angry at Flock as a privacy violator as you might imagine me to be, because it's just like one brand. That's like if you were super duper angry at smartphones in general, but only like Motorola's. Like, why just Motorola's? Fuck smartphones, fuck Motorola! I'm like thinking, but I mean, aren't you mad at, I don't know, Apple and Google too then? Because they also make phones. No, just Motorola! I don't know, it's just weird. Of course they're privacy violating. They're violating your constitutional rights. If not legally, then ethically. I need to, like, say this each time. I need to couch it so lest I look fucking like a rube who doesn't know the law or the Constitution. I get that all of these companies, they kind of sort of like skirt the law. They all love to use loopholes. We're not technically violating your constitutional rights. I get it, but ethically speaking, it violates the spirit of the Constitution and the people's rights. I get all that, but also, okay, if you're going to be doing this, like, why aren't you then ripping Ring doorbells off of people's doors? Right? Same principle. That's filming the street. Maybe I don't want to be filmed while just walking in the neighborhood, but meh. It is what it is. People are... I'd rather this than people just blindly accept it, I suppose, but it is just... It's becoming one of those things. I'm taking notes that it is becoming one of those things where, like, normies latch onto it and then it becomes a joke. And then 2 weeks later, they just fucking forget and move on to the next goddamn slop. Actually, somebody... hold on. Tagged me in a video earlier in the Discord about the book thing, the AI book thing. Nah. Can I download this real quick? Motherfucker. Don't make me log in. Thank you.
Them. And it's
so normies are... Why is there no fucking rewind?
Really rich, and
Show controls! I fucking hate them so much. I fucking hate this website. So normies are already latching onto the book thing with Anthropic. And I can already tell, like, they're making these TikToks already where some dude is just, like, surface level talking over it and, like, this is scary. And women are talking over it, about it.
History constantly and institutionally already shredded the books, so to speak. A service called ISBN DB facilitates the sales of millions of books and keeps their buyers private. And so these AI companies will have a credible monopoly, a digital monopoly of information. And they can lie about history. They can start overwriting history. We already see this. We see, well, Europe was never white. America was never...
I think people hate Flock because they create a map of where each plate on a car goes. I have bad news for you. That is what traffic cameras already do. Like, that's technology that the government has had for like 30 years now. That is not new. Flock cameras don't do anything new. It is just they happen to make it slick and easy for law enforcement to set them up and for cities to set them up, so they get a lot of deals with cities to get set up. And it is extremely convenient for them because it doesn't just film the car, it also like has it basically has antennas that pick up every single piece of signal that your phone broadcasts. Okay, so your Bluetooth identifier, if you have your Wi-Fi on, it detects that. If you are connected to the network, to your data provider, it collects your IMSI, your International Mobile Subscriber Identifier. It just does all that. So that's how, by the way, they technically get to skirt the law, because they're not collecting anything that you are not already voluntarily broadcasting. That's how they get away with this, because they don't have to do anything. They don't have to search your phone. In fact, in many places, they don't even have to film you anymore. They don't even need video, because your phone, the signals alone identify you. It is a unique fingerprint, okay? You're the only person with a Bluetooth signal that is looking for a device called Kaya's AirPods, okay? I'm the only person with a Garmin watch connected to that phone, and they both are signaling their own Bluetooth signal. I'm the only person with this specific model of iPhone 17 Pro or whatever. It's not a 17 Pro, but you got the point. I'm the only person who also happens to have this thing with that specific MAC address searching for Wi-Fi signals, so trying to hook into Wi-Fi, whatever. And I'm the only person who happens to have that specific network provider trying to search for cell service towers. So at every given moment, this thing is broadcasting my identity, my fingerprints, and they just need to record it. So whenever I drive under one of those flock devices or under one of these like privacy violating radar thingies, these antennas, it records that amalgamation, that combination of individual signals, which doesn't mean much, but once you combine all of the signals, it is very unique. Again, I'm the only person with this specific model of phone, with that specific Wi-Fi identifier, with that specific Bluetooth identifier, with those specific AirPods named that specific thing, Kaya's AirPods or whatever, with that specific smartwatch. Okay, that person with that combination of devices just drove on this highway. Ooh, and then look at that. Half an hour later, they appear to be in this mall. Our antenna that we set up at this strip mall picked up the exact same constellation of devices. Same person. Same person. And if you're traveling with somebody, like your wife or your boyfriend or whatever, that's what they call a convoy. You're part of the same group of people. Never have to film you. Isn't that fucked up? They never have to film you. They never have to catch your face on camera. They don't have to bother anymore. But they still do film you, obviously, of course, because they still want to facially recognize you as well and recognize your plate and stuff. But you get the point. Like your car, your phone, it's always broadcasting things. And my point is just like Flock isn't the only ones doing this. They're not even one out of like 5 companies doing it. They're one of many. Like we lost that right long ago. If normies are just now finding out that like, oh, everywhere I drive I get doxxed. Yeah, what do you think happens when you drive through a toll booth? What do you think? How do you think like cops catch people? If you ever watched body cam footage, like they can run a license plate and know where somebody is at that moment immediately. They know which street somebody drove down immediately just by typing in a license plate. And there's nothing new about it, so I don't know. Again, I'm not against it. I mean, if people are getting like privacy woke, I'm all for it. What the fuck is this? If people are getting woke on privacy, that's fine by me, bro. But I don't know if cutting down a couple of cameras is gonna really do it, unfortunately. I think there really is no solution to this that isn't legislative. A few bros like this getting their dumbasses arrested, cutting down cameras. Thank you. That's cool. I mean, I don't think you're an asshole vandal. I don't think, like, obviously this is way better than those fucking douchebags who set warehouses on fire and throw bricks through random mom and pop shops. Okay, if you're gonna be a vandal, at least do it against the government. I get it. But also, okay, now you ruined your life. What was the point? What was the point of becoming a felon? Just to cut down like a $500 camera. Oh, here. Each camera is valued $2,800. Okay, you know how much money the government has? That's like, they're gonna replace this the same afternoon. And now your life is basically ruined. You never get to vote again. You got baited into silencing your own voice, essentially. So I don't know. I've been getting blackpilled on this matter, chat. I'm sorry. We live in a dystopia now. I don't think there's any solution that isn't just like localized to your own life. Like all you can do is just, okay, my own phone. I'm gonna make sure that my phone doesn't scan every single fucking image that I take, lest I get in trouble. because I have a meme that the government didn't like. But as far as society-wide, like, they're gonna put up these cameras faster than you can cut them down, unfortunately. So much for that optimism. I know. I try, but when it comes to tech and privacy, it's not looking good. It's a little bit dire. Still shouldn't stop you from having a family. I'd say this would help show public disagreement to lawmakers, but flock cameras lobby local officials anyways. This is just going to invigorate their, like, piggish pettiness, if anything. They're going to be super fucking petty about this and throw the book at these guys. The more this happens, the harder they're going to come down and throw the book at people. If anything, they're going to use this as a reason for why you need more flock cameras and even harder, and hook the Ring cameras into flock and something or whatever the fuck. Let's see who owns flock. I'm curious now. I have about 10 minutes before I gotta bounce. Flock cameras. Products. Drone is first responder, that makes sense. License plate readers. Privacy and security. Data security. Myths versus facts. What's a myth? How data is stored and retained. Who can access data and under what rules. There was just a news story about a chick working at Flock. Because somebody working there, I think, or a cop who had access to it. And she was stalking her ex-boyfriends. Basically, yeah, there she is. Paige Forte, a 30-year-old dispatch supervisor in the Conyers, Georgia Police Department's real-time crime center, has been arrested for allegedly misusing the Flock camera license plate reader system to track her boyfriend. You're gonna have a lot of news like this, okay? Because yes, I'm sorry, but you cannot give the average government, like DMV worker or just like a dispatch worker, access to this shit. Of course, but again, this is nothing new to Flock. Like, women working in law enforcement have been doing this since like cameras have been a thing. If they can use a computer system to type in ex-boyfriend's first name, last name, they're gonna stalk each other. It's just how it works. Even cops should have, unless a warrant. It's so late. It's like, we are so late to the conversation. You have to understand, like, police basically giggle at the idea of a warrant anymore. You know why? Because, like, for as much as people talk about the constitutional rights and you don't have the right to search me without my consent, without like a reasonable cause or whatever, you know what law enforcement has done? And they've been doing this for like the better part of 2 decades now. Nothing new. Again, nothing new. Instead of sending warrants and subpoenas to service providers like Facebook or Amazon or whatever, like, hey, Google, tell me where this person is right now. Instead of doing that, they just legally purchase the information from data brokers. So instead of saying, hey, tell me where Yennefer is right now, Google, tell me what her last Amazon purchases are or whatever, because we want to make sure that maybe she was buying ingredients to make a bomb. Instead of sending a subpoena to Amazon and having to deal with their fucking obstinate lawyers for days and days, they just go to a data broker who has the exact same information and they just purchase it completely legally. ICE does this. People have been Pikachu facing data brokers selling you to ICE, $10 million contracts. Your data is everywhere. The government is buying it up. ICE just spent $10 million buying immigrants' tax records. See what I mean? Like, they don't have to subpoena. They don't even have to have like interdepartmental cooperation anymore. Like, ICE does not have to work with the IRS. They don't even have to send a letter to the IRS anymore saying, hey, we're investigating this guy for possibly being illegal and having like trafficking humans. Can you guys send us his tax record? And possibly dealing with like, well, do you guys have a warrant or anything? No. They don't have to deal with that. They can just purchase the information legally, fully legally. They can just buy it for like $5 and then they have like Juan's tax records. That's how it works now. It's 2026. All of these, like, capitalism is working with law enforcement to get your ass. So when people get mad at Flock, that's what I mean. It's really not, in the big scheme of things, it's really a drop in the bucket. And Ice, so people were Pikachu facing. That's what I meant. Like Ice, how is Ice always like dead dropping on people's asses? How do they always know where some illegal dude is? How did they just catch him as he was dropping off his daughter at preschool? How did they just catch him as he was hiding out in some In-N-Out drive-through? This is how. Because they literally just logged on and purchased whatever his last phone location pinged at. I saw a video where Flock put up microphones to listen for gunshots near a university. Again, that's been around for decades. They're called shot spotters. What a shot spotter does, it's literally just a microphone mounted on a pole, and it listens for gunshots. And the idea is when there's a gunshot in a neighborhood, it automatically dispatches officers, so nobody actually has to even bother calling it in. It's automatic. Hey, loud noise, series of loud noises, pom, 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 bang, 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 bang. Dispatch. Cities have started getting rid of them for two reasons. One, a lot of false positives, because it would ding things like just a car backfiring or fireworks as possible gunshots, and then it was just a waste of resources to dispatch cops every time like kids were setting off fireworks. Number two, obviously it just kept dinging in black neighborhoods the most, and that's awkward for like Democrat cities, so they said cut the program, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Same reason they're currently trying to get rid of body cams, by the way, in case you don't know. This is such a long topic and I have like 10 minutes at most. Hold on, let me check my group chat. In case you don't know, body cams, to make it short, body cams were instituted during Obama's reign, okay? Because of Michael Brown. Michael Brown was the fat black guy who got in an altercation with a cop and got himself shot. And it was a huge cultural event back then. If you're not old enough to remember, it was massive fucking BLM type drama, super racial drama in the United States. And then Trayvon Martin also happens, but Michael Brown was the bigger one because there was contention over whether or not he had his hands up and whether or not he was surrendering while the cop held the gun to him and shot him. That's where you may have heard hands up, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot became a thing as a motto because the idea was hands up. He had his hands up and he was saying, I have my hands up, don't shoot. I have my hands up, don't shoot. And that became a slogan. And it became a contentious issue because the cop was saying, no, he didn't have his hands up. In fact, he was tackling me. He was tackling me and going for my gun, so I had to shoot him. The coroner's reports backed him up. The coroner's report said, well, from the entry wounds of the bullets, from the angle, it seems like he was in fact leaning forward as if to like tackle a person, so that makes sense. Eyewitnesses said the same thing. They said, yeah, he was tackling the cop. It was still a very contentious thing because there was no widespread body cams yet. Obama, being the hardcore racist that he was, he made everything racial. So he made this a huge issue. He took the Trayvon Martin thing and made it a huge issue. To the point that all of the liberals, they demanded body cams everywhere. We're gonna hold racist cops accountable. No more he said, she said. We're gonna hold these fucking racist cops accountable who just go to black neighborhoods and shoot black people for fun. We're gonna hold them accountable. Every cop is gonna wear, oh, you wanna be on the force? Yeah, well, everything you do is gonna be recorded from now on. It was more of a cultural thing than legislative, so believe it or not, body cams are actually still, to this day, technically not federally mandated. It is up to each police department whether or not they want to do it. Most police departments voluntarily opt into it. Here's why. Because once police body cams became widespread and widely adopted by cops, not only, here's the funny part, not only did they not show a widespread issue of cops abusing their position to like harass black people, not only did it not show that, it actually showed. Not only did it not reduce the incidence of police violence, some jurisdictions, some police departments actually reported an increase in use of force. Now imagine that. They recorded an increase. And the reason is that it's because the cops felt more confident in use of force because they knew that they could now defend themselves against accusations of racism because everything they did was on camera. They could prove that, no, the guy like literally came at me with a knife. I had to shoot him. So in some departments that actually increased the use of violence against perpetrators and suspects. And it, again, not only proved that there isn't widespread violence, but are body cams that recent? I mean, is that like 2012-ish? I don't know when Michael Brown was. Whenever, around that time, it became widespread. 2014-ish, 2012, like during Obama's reign still, during his tenure. And not only did it prove that there wasn't widespread racism, it actually proved, like, as a body cam connoisseur, it is my Coco Melon. It is my body cop Coco Melon. It proved that, if anything, American cops are like, they have the patience of a pope. They have saints-like patience. They are so magnanimous and patient as like these freaks are melting down and just creating violent encounters out of the most petty situations, just like turning a routine like speeding ticket into a I have to shoot you now meltdown. And it has embarrassed them because there's now literally hundreds of videos of specifically overwhelmingly black people melting the fuck down at a cop, just telling them like, ma'am, get out of the car. Just get out of the car. Just get out of the car. That's it. Like, I don't want to turn don't make this something it doesn't have to be. Just get out of the car. And then her just freaking the fuck out and getting herself shot as she's like reaching for a gun or something and trying to just like swing at the cop. To the point that it has now embarrassed liberals. To the point they now want body cams banned. So it has come full circle, hysterically. It has come full circle. They now want body cams taken off of police officers. They believe if you want to be a police officer, you should not be allowed to record yourself while you're arresting people. And flock cameras shouldn't exist, and nobody should be ever recorded because it disproportionately affects minority communities. So, it is a very hysterical example of government policy backfiring. Like a very cartoonish, like cream pie to the face cartoon moment, like Tom from Tom and Jerry, like hitting himself with a shovel as he was going for Jerry. It's very hysterical. Or not showing your ID when you're being detained, exactly. Which is like, by the way, and they always go, no, I don't have to give you my ID. Little bro, like bro. Brother, my black brother, like it is in it's usually actually, to be fair, it's usually like drunk white chicks doing the I don't have to give you my ID thing. It's usually like middle-aged women doing it. But like sister, it's in the driver's manual that children read in all 50 states that say like if you're driving on the road, you implicitly consent to a cop checking you. And if an officer of the law asks you to ID yourself, you have to. It's in the law. It's in the book. It's like on page 3 of every driver's manual. Like, go to your state's DMV website, go to whatever.gov website and download the PDF. Your driver's manual PDF. It is in there. You consent to 2 things automatically. You will identify yourself and hand over your ID when asked. And 2, if you are asked to do a field sobriety test, you will submit to it. Implied consent. It's called implied consent. If you're driving on this road, you can be pulled over and you will do a breathalyzer test, or you will get out and do the fucking 3 steps shit, or the 9 steps shit. Okay, I gotta run. I hope you guys had fun about my schizo ramblings. I hope that I was marginally, at least a teeny tiny bit, educational about privacy with you. Fuck Flock. Fuck Anthropic. But also fuck normies. Alright. Okay, well, thank you for the support, for the subs and the super chat donos. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I gotta go record a podcast. After maybe having a snack or something, because I am famished. Alright, bye.